Hi, Mia. I'm glad to have you with us, and my special pleasure as a president of the organization Sport No Limit that organizes the camp. First of all, I want to ask you, how are you?
I'm good now. Since a week in Esbjerg, but I'm feeling really good here, and I'm getting back to a normal life for me. So this is nice, and I'm excited what comes next.
Perfect. We are also excited for you. My first question, for sure, it will be linked to the previous European Championship, Women's Championship that we had in Switzerland. And for sure, it's not your first one, but it's also, I can ask you, since it was in Switzerland, how did you felt? Was it the same? How were the emotions? Can you make a small comparison before and now? How was it?
For me, it was a big difference from the first championship to the home championship, especially with all the stuff going on off court, like media suddenly paid more attention on you. You try to get people in the arenas. When we were playing, the arena was full. It was a lot of people for us in Swiss handball. We're not used to it, or not that used to it, and it was amazing to have the crowd in your back and show them what you're able to do. So I think it was a next level from the first championship, and also how we were there as a group, as a dynamic. We were growing with a team. I think this is amazing, and I will never want to miss this experience.
Perfect, perfect. I think also that this was important step for the Swiss Federation and Swiss women handball, especially handball in Switzerland. But the women's handball, it was, I think it was a perfect event. I cannot even imagine how was it for you. You know, you have your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone watching you, cheering for you. This was your biggest. I don't know how much crowd you had, the biggest number of crowd you had when you played. But I
Um,
assume this was also a big game for you. You know, it was a couple of thousands. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was nearly 6,000. So this was a new record for us.
Nice.
Before the maximum was around three, so nearly double of it. And then this, in addition, with all the people in front of their televisions, or from all over the world, so you could feel it and hear more feedback. Um, and yeah, we could also. I think we became a little bit more role models in a way,
Mhm.
because before it was just a small sport having their place in a small corner from all other sports, and trying to do their best there. But and then it was our spotlight in a way, and the attention was more on us, and I think we used it and tried to inspire a lot of people.
What I can tell you from my experience being here, also working in Switzerland, I was positively surprised when I had, for sure, you yourself and the other colleagues from your team. You inspired a lot of kids, and especially a lot of girls. You being, let's say, pushed forward like next young superstar, not next, but you are at the moment the young superstar, and the EHF made the perfect interview with you and video. Everybody saw that, and for me, it was not strange that you inspired a lot of girls. But what I heard also, a lot of young boys, you know, small boys, when they play handball, they also know you and also speak about you. So for me, this was a positive surprise. You know, not only having idols like everybody knows, you know, like Andy Schmidt, Nicola Portner, and the others, but also having you as a Mia Emmenegger. For me, it was really good, and I wanted to share with you that.
Oh, thank you. I'm still surprised when people think that about me, because I feel like I'm still a kid too. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel like that big, that idol or something like that. I feel like I'm just a normal kid having fun and playing handball.
But you think this is maybe because of you coming from Switzerland, where there is not big hype about handball, women's handball? Do you think maybe this is also the one thing why you guys on the court didn't have so much stress and you enjoyed and didn't have a lot of expectations? Do you think also it was like environment that you grow, or maybe it was like you were stressed and we didn't saw that?
No, we were good prepared as a team also. We had some mental sessions together as a group in the gathering. And for us, we tried to avoid getting stressed or feel under pressure. We wanted to really enjoy it. But as we had nothing to lose, it was also easier. Like we could just play, enjoy, and that makes us better. So that's what we did
Yeah,
in a
perfect.
way.
Speaking about youngs and young talents, and you being yourself also as a young player still, I wanted just to have a couple of words with you about this motivation and what has motivated you to become, first of all, the handball player in Switzerland, knowing that it was not a big sport, especially in the women's part. And what has inspired you? How did you decide to be, let's say, professional? Not let's say, but you are a professional handball player and still young and pursuing your dream, playing abroad. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
First of all, I started to come to handball because my mom was playing, and in my village, it was the only sport possible to do for a girl. So I wanted to move my body. I was a really active child, so I had to move my body, and therefore I started playing handball. Had a lot of fun with it, but I was never thinking about being professional because when the guys were telling, "Oh, I want to be, what is your dream profession?" They said, "Oh, I want to become a football player." And for me, it was like, yeah, I also want to become a handball player, but it's not possible as a woman. You don't get paid for it. And but they proved me wrong. It
Yeah.
is possible. There was a change also in this handball, and I just did not see um, this possibility because I was thinking that the highest league in Switzerland, that's it, and there you cannot live of it. So with when the junior national team started, um, I first time saw what's possible, like a glimpse of the bigger world, of the bigger handball world, the international. And I think that was my point when I started really thinking about it, going abroad, playing as a professional, and have this as my profession.
Yeah, that was also my next thought. Just can you share a couple of words about that? How was this big change? You know, me myself, I was a handball player, and I know I played abroad. But you being from coming from Switzerland and deciding to go abroad and Norway, you know, it's not Germany, which is like the country next to Switzerland. It's Norway, of course. The Vipers, the big club, you know, having this fame and a lot of big players from Norway national team, etc. How was this? You know, did you had some big support, of course, from your family environment, but also your agent, or how did you decide to make this big step?
Yeah, it was already a subject when I was 16 because then the first club was calling me and asking if I want to join. And then I decided that it's too early, that I first want to finish my school in Switzerland. So I have a degree. And then I was talking a lot. Then I started to get an agent. With her, I'm working pretty close and good together. And I think she's a big help for me. And also a lot of speaking with my family, preparing what is the best for you, what feels good. I was talking with different clubs, and I just had the best feeling then when I was talking with Wipers,
Yeah.
because yeah, this environment, also a little bit this Scandinavian mentality, was really or seemed really nice for me, especially as a young player, because yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know,
especially
sometimes it's
you felt
it's a
comfortable
different
for sure.
culture.
Yeah, you felt comfortable
And
and reassured that this is the right step. But at the
yeah,
end, you know, I also wanted to highlight this. Like you said yourself, you have a degree, which is quite important. You know, you also had this in your mind that this is also important part of your, let's say, education and development as a person, not only pursuing this dream of being a big handball player on the highlight and in the you know in on the field and playing the Champions League and the European champions. You know, so also this is important stuff, which I applaud you. You know, it's quite good because we know that sometimes young they can follow the stars, but if they don't have the good environment which is good for them, and it can you can get in the trap, of course, you know. So I would like that you say a couple of words about that. Yeah, what you are doing now, you are studying and combining with handball, that's right?
yes, that's right. I started studying history in a distance university. There is one in Switzerland,
Which one?
and I think there are also others
And which one,
in
which university in Switzerland?
Fernuni Schweiz.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And I think it's really, really practical because I don't do it full time. So for a bachelor, I need, instead of 3 years, I need 4.5 or something like that. But as long as I can do it as a professional, I don't have stress, and there is still a career after the career, and you never know when it's over. So it's good to have something flexible, like it does not depend on where I'm living. It is, and I can just, if I would quit or if I would get injured, I could intense it and make it a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important also, even though I'm only at the beginning of my career, it's important to think what after,
Yeah.
because we cannot play handball until we're 60 and we get retired later than 60.
Yeah.
So there is a normal working life after the sport. And I think it's important to be prepared for that and use the time I have now,
Yeah,
to
but
educate
I
myself and
assume
have
I
something.
assume that the good message would be you have everything is possible. You can combine the education and high level education as a university and high level handball sport, and but for sure you have to be organized. I assume that you study sometimes in the bus, in the airports or whatever. You know, you use your time to prepare yourself for your challenges. Either way, is it the game or the exams? Because I assume you also do the scouting of the game, you watch the videos, and also you do the studies. I can imagine.
Yeah, of course, we prepare for handball. It's not only on court; it's also off court, where we have to do a lot of things. And regeneration should also never. You should never quit regeneration. So
Yeah.
like that. But it helps me also to have a study to structure my life, because sometimes you have 2 hours or something waiting, for example, for a plane, or waiting for the training or after the training. And for me, I have to plan it myself when I'm doing what. But it helps me to get some structure in my daily life, and to to just keep on both. And also, I think it's also good that you're not always thinking of one part, that you have these two, like one more for the brain and one more for body and brain, because it's handball.
Yeah.
But still, to have, if I don't know, if there you have a little crisis in handball, it's good to have studies aside. If you
Yeah.
are stressed with studies, it's good to have handball to move to
Good.
to be part of that. So I think it's a good combination, and it needs some planning, but it is definitely possible.
It's possible. Yeah, I agree with you. I come back a little bit. You said on this, of course, we have to say a little bit this dark side, and I can underline that we all saw and followed what happened with the Vipers, which was the European Champions League winner, and now unfortunately they went bankruptcy. So that meant that you have to find a new club. So this way, it's officially you have found a new club, and we congratulate you for that. And this is also one point that it's important to have these studies, because you never know. Even the biggest club with the biggest budget, they can crash and they can disappear, unfortunately, in our sport. So I assume that this is also one of the reasons why you kept studying and following your education. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big reason. I mean, from one to another day, you're without a job. Then it's good to have something to work on, to have something where you can have a future aside of handball. So I think it's a really good side effect, and it's also good that I do this from distance, that I can do it wherever I want.
So I would like to ask you, what do you think about these opportunities for the kids that they have, let's say in the summer camps to train more? What do you think about this kind of projects?
I think it's great. I mean, these are children, boys, girls, wanting to play handball. They are highly motivated, and then they can be in a surrounding where they start having a little bit professional, like the feeling of how can it be to train, to just train for handball, to have this as a life. And I think it's really fun. I always loved it when we had camps from my old club, and it was just a nice experience also to be with the people the same age,
From
be
different
around
clubs,
them,
even different countries. Yeah, even different
learn from
countries. Yeah,
different countries, learn from different coaches. I think this widens your horizon, if this makes sense in English.
yeah,
Or it opens up a
yeah.
little bit more your sight, and you can pick whatever you think is useful. But in general, I love camps like that, and I felt like, especially if you're young, is one of the best times of the life of the year.
What do you think? Would you like to have one day, well, let's say when you advance in your career, let's say when you get more experience, would you like to have one camp that has your name as a camp?
I don't know yet. Maybe I just start supporting others already existing, and then we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, we spoke, and everybody, including me, myself, and the organization, we would be glad to have you with us this summer, as we talked. So we will keep in touch, and for sure, we hope to have you with us. And I think that you are the best example for the girls in Switzerland, also boys. We said that earlier. So I think that you are a great example. How can you combine your love for and passion for the handball and also continuing studying on high level and being at the university and being actually abroad, out from Switzerland and away from the parents and from the friends and family. So I think this is great, and I think that you can share a lot to our community.